thought this thing was gonna go live for me. I thought it was gonna hit live. It didn't even go live for me. What's up? What's up? What's good, y'all? It's gonna be Big Vic. We back in the building with another live. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? D Ball, what's up? I see you, family. That's what's up. No doubt, no doubt. What's up? What's up? TikTok in the building. We got the YouTube. We on YouTube live. We on TikTok live. I'm on both right now. So if you're on TikTok, what's up, TikTok? YouTubers, what's up, family? Who we got in the building right now? If y'all can hear me okay, say what's up in the chat. For sure, for sure. What's up, Ryan? I see you. What's goody? What's goody? What's good? What's good? That's what's up. That's what's up. Who we got? Who we got? Who we got? Cargo handlers, what's up? Kevin G, what's goody? What's goody? No doubt. First live. You caught me, caught your first live. That's what's up. That's what's up. Will, what's up, Will? Everybody catching me live for the first time. I got a lot of new people that's been hitting the channel up. What's goody? Josh, what's up, Josh? Over there on TikTok, I see you. L, what's up, L? I see you, L. What's good? What's good? Came through to do a Q&A for you guys that are new to the channel that probably haven't, you guys just catching me for the first time live here on YouTube. I've done I've done one live on TikTok before. So I wanted to jump over here because I know TikTok is a little different. Y'all a little different than YouTube. So if you haven't subscribed to me on YouTube from TikTok, come subscribe over here on YouTube because this is where I usually go live at when I go live. So yeah, what's up? What's up? How's everybody feeling? How's everybody feeling? Yo, put where you tuning in from in the chat. Drop where you tuning in from in the chat. Will said he think he want to do Amazon relay. Well, we're gonna see what it look like. See what it look like in your area. Raleigh, North Carolina in the building. What's up, Raleigh? Oh man, Jody, you an OG. Jody said he been around since my so deaf days. That's you an OG then. You been around for a minute. Got the Chi-Town in the building. What's up, Chi-Town? Taylor, what's up? I see you. Salt Lake City, Utah in the building. Birmingham, Tampa. We got Tampa in the building. Arkansas, Oklahoma. All day Ned said he getting ready to start that company in Dallas, Texas. So I did a consultation with somebody. When was that? I think it was Monday or Tuesday. I did a consultation with somebody, and we looked up Dallas and Houston because they want to run their truck in that market. And Dallas and well, not Dallas, but I'm gonna say Texas as a whole. Texas and Cali had like the most freight coming out of those areas. Like as far as freight coming in and freight going out, those two states had more freight than any other state that was out there. Of course, they're the biggest states pretty much. So yeah, it was and that was on DAT load board. I'm not really speaking about Amazon. For that, I didn't look up Amazon, but I did look up. I was on the DAT load board when I did the. I looked up the national load count, and it was a lot of loads coming out of that area. It was popping. It was popping. TikTok telling me to encourage y'all to share the live. Yeah, I've been moving some Amazon stuff, and then I've been catching some loads off off the DAT load board, not going super far uh for my trucks. Actually, I'm about to hire two drivers. I'm looking for two drivers, so I'm gonna be putting that out there. I'm gonna be shooting a not an email out, but I'm gonna be shooting it up on my social media. So I'm letting y'all know now that I'm gonna be looking for two drivers that want to go OTR, and make some money. So I like to mix my freight up OTR. I like to mix it up with Amazon if Amazon is popping in certain markets. This market out here, hey, yeah. Well, I don't know what's going on with it out here in this market right now. And I'm talking about my area. I'm in Charlotte, so hey, well, Amazon funny style right now. Yeah, them rates looking crazy right now, man. They looking crazy. Yeah, you definitely need a clean driving record. You need a clean driving record and your back. I got to do a background check and the driving record. I need to know who driving my vehicles. I need to know. Mark, you said you in Belmont? Well, you right down the street. He said they'll go OTR tomorrow. He in Belmont. Boy, that's crazy. Ryan said this is wild. It's wild right here. Ryan said he's a manager for an Amazon DSP. He said my owner told me to look you up. I wanted to see about starting something with Amazon Relay. He told me to look you up. Tell the manager I said what's up, family. Tell him I said what's up. I met another manager. Which DSP, which Amazon DSP you work at, Ryan? Which one you work at? It's not out here in Charlotte, is it? Because I met a manager out there, out at one of these facilities out here in Charlotte. He was trying to get some more info on these box trucks. Who else we got? Who we got over here on TikTok, man? I see we got a few people over here. He said he OTR right now. That's what's up. He said you ain't told me the first 60 days he be struggling. No, I did. You probably didn't catch me. You probably didn't catch me talking about it. But I've been saying for a minute, like it's tougher. Like the brokers are just a little tougher now. Like I've said it in a couple of videos. Like the brokers are a little more strict on brand new authorities, but there will be brokers that will let you run that freight, right? A lot of people just get discouraged when they first start off because you're calling brokers and they're just telling you no, your authority is not, you know what I'm saying, your authority is not doesn't have enough age on it. And there's a lot of it's a lot of fraud going on with fake authorities being started, you know, with some of these other weird companies popping up that are, you know, not even legitimate trucking companies and trying to book freight, right? So that's why these brokers are cracking down because you gotta think about it. They're dealing with customers' merchandise, and they have to make sure that that stuff gets to the receiver, right? So they want to make sure that they're letting reputable authorities move that freight. That's why they ask for the DOT inspections, or they look at your FMCSA report, your safer report to see if you had an inspection, right? These are just like it's protocol now. Then you have newer brokers that will give newer carriers a shot, right? And if you know how to talk when you call a lot of some of these brokers, some of them will give you a shot. They'll give you a shot. They will give you a shot. CH Robinson is I haven't ran CH Robinson in a while. I haven't ran them in a while, but I remember when I started, they did let me run, you know, they did let me run some loads. And every now and again, depending on the state, sometimes they have more box truck loads available in certain states than they do other states. because they really like to focus on 53-footer loads. But when you do catch a box truck load with C.H. Robinson, they typically are decent. They're pretty decent loads. Yeah, shoot me. One Marcus, shoot me an email. Shoot me an email at bigvicmusic@gmail.com. Just shoot me an email. Fam said he used to be a broker at TQL, and now I feel the driver's side. I hate TQL now too. Said it was all good when you was working with them until you got in the truck. The game changed, huh? Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Aunt Mac, what's up? I see you on TikTok. I see you. That's what's up. Eldris, I see you. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's a good thing because you know, if you master that dispatching end of it and you're in the truck and she handling like the dispatching side, when you get real nice, when you get real nice with that dispatching, you're gonna eat different. I can tell you that now. You're gonna eat different and you know how to talk to them brokers and negotiate. If she got a little bit of negotiation skills, you'll do well. You'll do well. No doubt. No doubt. Yeah, boy, that TQL be they I don't see how they give some of the prices with a straight face up there at in them offices, man. I don't see how they give some of them prices that they be telling carriers with a straight face. I would love to be a fly on the wall up there in that office when carriers is calling in to book them loads, man. I promise you I would. I would love to see it. I would love to see it. Man, listen, Amazon got slow around here. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like the numbers like man, the numbers just went down in this area, man. They really went down. So my driver really didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? He didn't want to go OTR. Like he got real spoiled. He got real spoiled. Real spoiled. He got real spoiled with just running Amazon. And when them rates started getting low, it's like, bro, this well, I got to put this thing over the road, bro. These numbers ain't numbering right now. Them numbers are not they was not numbering. So, I gotta put somebody else in there, man. We gotta keep them wheels spinning. Gotta keep them wheels spinning. Yeah, I still been running Amazon. I still been running Amazon Relay Freight. Like I mix it up when I see a decent load pop up. Well, Amazon called me to. I think I told y'all that though, but Amazon called me. They had a load on the DAT load board. I called on that load. Plus, they emailed me. So they emailed me back, asked me was I cool with the price. The price was great for the load. Boy, I get close to the destination. We went from 550 to 175. Boy, I was hot. I was hot. I got up out of my bed and y'all told me we was good for the 550. Like 90 miles, 550. Man, I got almost there. I seen that thing pop up on the load on my on the app. This load has been canceled. Boy, I was on fire. I was on fire because I was pretty much there already. So the cancellations are ridiculous. Last week, I think only one of my loads, I only completed one load. The rest of them was canceled. So I had 175s going all the way down, and then one load that was completed. Then they just canceled the rest of them. I didn't even get the 175s for those. They canceled them before the trip started. They canceled them before the trip started. For sure, they sure did. Oh yeah, out there in L.A. Christian said he in L.A. Yeah, man, rates is crazy right now, man. They are crazy. Um, Robin said he going OTR next week. Is Kentucky a market to start a box truck business? Depends on, I mean, you can start a box truck business in any state, bro. In any state, it just depends on what you plan on doing with that box truck once you get it. Once you get it, man, the rental rates for box trucks they've been unbelievable. But I did have a Cali plug that was like right at 400, right at 400 a week. But you would have had to, you know what I'm saying, you would have had to go out there to pick it up. But they were right at 400. They thought I was renting, but I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't rent. They called me up, but I did talk to him and ask him what his rates were. Yeah, now, hey, cargo handlers, you said a mouthful just now. You did say a mouthful. Now I gotta agree with you on that. I gotta agree with you on that. Cargo said, I ain't really keen about TQL, but you got to keep them in your back pocket. They will come in the clutch every now and again. I I will say that. I will say they will come in the clutch every now and again because they keep a ton of loads, right? Every now and again, they'll come to their senses, but that's every now and again. Every now and again. That's not all the time. Every now and again, they will come to their senses. But I promise you, a majority of that stuff, horrible. Horrible. My TikTok is Big Vic TV. Big Vic TV. Said Trey said he had to go over the hot shop because the rental fees for box trucks was unbelievable. Oh yeah, they was knocking people in the head for them rental rates, bro. Soon as they got hit to y'all going out there and running freight, they said, y'all not moving furniture. Oh, y'all making money. Oh, y'all making money with these rental trucks. Oh yeah, we got to go up on the price, man. They went up on the price just for that because they knew y'all was making money in them trucks, putting all the miles on their rental trucks. Kenneth, I don't have a list on me right now. I don't have the list on me right now. Um, of the brokers that will work with new authorities. Hold on, TikTok. I gotta answer one. Hopefully it don't log me out. Hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. I'm back, Talk. Yeah, rental rates crazy, man. They crazy. Like I think if you paying anything over 550, anything over 550 a week to me, you're gonna have to really, you got to really work. plus the mileage. Uh, so cargo, the company I'm with, I'm currently with Great West Casualty, but they don't they don't work with new authorities. So you have to have, I think, maybe a year or two before they'll work with you. Like you can give them a call and double check, but they're probably like one of the top rated commercial insurance companies. Said the cheapest rates for rentals in Oklahoma is 680 a week, 21 cents a mile. Boy, that's crazy. That's ridiculous. That 21 cents a mile is ridiculous. That's where they get you at, that per mile. And then the 680 is crazy too. Yeah, we no. That's one of the reasons why I didn't rent. Like when I was looking at the prices at what they were charging, and I just kept saying to myself, 680, like 750. Like I was just running into a lot of people that were renting when I was first starting off. And I was like, nah. Yeah, cargo, you good then. If you been in 3 years, you good. Get them a call. Get them a call. Just see if they can compete with your you know what I'm saying, compete with what you currently have. And they're excellent. They're excellent for breakdowns. Like they're excellent for breakdowns because they cover a lot of that stuff. If you OTR and your truck breaks down, um, they do cover. I want to say it's the labor. I want to say it's the labor, and depending on what the repair is, but they'll give you a list of everything that they do cover though. Something 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 aggressive never offered me for sure. They never offered me nothing like that. Like they were crazy. Penske's 890 a week plus 18 cents a mile. Boy, if you don't stop playing with me. If you don't stop playing with me, talking about 890 a week plus 18 cents a mile. Boy, what Penske is that? What Penske is that? In Virginia? No, sir. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No. The last thing I did with my the last maintenance I did with my international was the, what is that, ARC, the cooler, ERG cooler. I got that replaced. I bought replacement cooler for $1,000, and then they actually put it on for me. It was like 28 to take the old one off and put the new one on. It was like 2,800. It's crazy. It was crazy. Yeah, that was crazy. Mm-mm. Yeah, aggressive ain't no joke. You better believe they not playing either. Like like because they insure so many new authorities, that's the reason. And a lot of other companies won't insure newer authorities. That's why they're able to. That's why they like to. To me, they take advantage of new carriers. That's how I see it. I view it as them taking advantage of new carriers. That's how I see it. 890 a week plus 18 cents a mile. Boy, oh boy, that is insane. Insane. Mm-mm. 500 miles. Why do you want to cap you at 500 miles? That's crazy. That don't make no sense. especially if you're trying to go OTR. Like that don't that's not making no sense. Yeah, Great West Casualty, Great West Casualty, Great West Casualty. Yep. Tiffany asks, if I apply for my authority, should I wait to get a truck until I'm all approved or get the truck immediately? So, like, if you're in a position to already have the truck, then definitely go ahead and apply for your authority. If you know you can get it within that time frame, like if you know you can go get the truck within that time frame, like FMCSA kind of changed up some things. So uh back when I started, it was a 21-day waiting period after you apply for the authority. Then uh then afterwards, what they would do is they would give you up to like 90 days before you would just have to pay a reinstatement fee. I think it was like 80 bucks or something like that. But now they changed it. So once you go over that time frame, you got to repay the $300 again if you don't have a truck with active commercial insurance. But I applied for my authority, then I went and found me a truck like shortly after that within that 21-day time frame. Now it's like 21, 25 days. But yes, you definitely can apply for it first. If you know you're going to get that truck for sure. Shout out Great Polo. Appreciate the super chat. I see. I missed. Boy, I got a lot of chats flying through right now. Yeah, that'll be new. I didn't hear that one yet. I gotta look into that one. Mike Cross said he heard the MC number is being phased out come November. Yeah, I gotta look into that one. You're welcome, Tiff. You're welcome. Hold on one sec, y'all. One second. All right, I'm back. I'm back. Shout out to the MGMs, man. Come on, man. If you don't stop playing with me right now. He talking about read my super chat or I'm gonna report you to the YouTube. Come on, man. You gotta stop this, man. Stop it. Can you get your authority without getting your insurance? Your authority will not go active without commercial insurance on that vehicle. On a vehicle. Yeah, I gotta look that up, man. That's my first time hearing about that one. Yeah. Somebody else, yeah. Y'all I definitely gotta look that one up. I definitely have to look that up. That's new. That's my first time hearing that. Eldris, where you at? Says two Amazons where I'm located. Let's see. Let's see. I might have missed it. Right, right, correct, correct. Yeah, you can have it, like you can apply for it, but it's just not gonna go active. You'll have it, but if you don't have commercial insurance, it's gonna end up getting phased out until you pay that money again. Like they'll give you a number. Like I said, until you get that active commercial insurance, buddy, ain't no haps on the craps. No haps on the craps, bro. No haps on the craps. All right, so I'm gonna roll into where we at. We 30 minutes in. We 30 minutes in. I'm gonna roll into this because I know y'all wanna see this. So we're gonna roll into this Amazon. Let's see here. I'm looking for Tiffany, that is, do I recommend renting a truck or purchasing, or does it really depend on the individual? I always, for me, I personally recommend buying. It does depend on the individual, but I look at it as if I'm in a position to purchase a vehicle, I'm purchasing a vehicle, because if I'm gonna do the business, I'm gonna do the business. There's no need for me to rent anything if I'm in a position to actually purchase a truck, and this is something serious that I wanna, that I wanna take on. So I'm gonna buy me a vehicle. That way I don't have to, you know, really be dealing with no rental companies. Uh, I'll just buy a truck. Like how I saw it when I first started, I looked at renting. I saw videos on a couple of people that was renting trucks, looking at how much they gave the rental company versus how much I could actually keep in my pocket or even put to the side. I looked at uh max of me actually rent how much I'm giving away to the rental company. That's just how I felt. Some people may not look at it like that. Some people may just wanted to come in the business, get a truck, even if they were renting a truck, uh, and look at that as a way for them to get in the game because they couldn't purchase, right? But then you're looking at a couple thousand, and a lot of people started off just running Amazon in the beginning, but now that's not the case because you got to be, you need six. Yes, the authority has to be 6 months active. So if you get in a rental truck and you can't find work immediately when you start, you may find yourself in a pickle, right? And then that makes you desperate to take any type of load that comes your way. Then you may find yourself giving the money to the rental company versus it going in your pocket. So I mean, it can go both ways. It can go both ways. If you got some work set up and you kind of do your numbers in the beginning, from the get go, and you kind of know like, hey, I got this company right here that says I can run their freight, and you got a number already established that you could where you could see your potential earnings, then that may work out for you. But then again, I don't know. I just don't. I never liked the rental route for myself. Like that, it wasn't gonna work for me because I just wanted to go buy a truck straight out. But I was in the position to buy one or finance one. So it's definitely up to the individual though. That's my take on it. Yep, pretty much what I said. Shout out to Taylor Cargo, Marie Cargo. That's my mod. Shout out to my mod. Yep. If you have to rent, said I would suggest having secured work such as a contract or working directly with shippers. That's a fact. That's definitely a fact. Like I wouldn't see me getting a rental truck and depending on the load board to make my money. Because then you kind of you can find yourself starting to get desperate to take anything if the loads are not coming in as fast as you need them to come in, and then you know what I'm saying, then you have to pay that rental company. You got that payment coming up in a week because then and when I know some people that did try that method when they came in, and because they couldn't get the work fast enough, they was out of the game before they even got started because they did, they weren't making any money. They didn't have work established, you know, or some type of situation already in pocket before they rented that truck. They just said, "Hey, I'm gonna go rent a truck and I'm gonna go get the load boards," and it just didn't work out for them that way. No, sir. If you rent that truck, you cannot use the rental company's insurance to go active. That's not gonna make your authority go active. And that's the crazy part. And let me put you up on game with that as well. So, and this is how the rental this I'm gonna tell you, this is how the rental companies get over. They can get over on you. This is how they can get over on you. They can get over on you because let's say you go rent a truck, right? Let's say that truck is, I don't know what year you might rent, but I'm gonna just say right off the top of my head, uh a 20 a 2018. Let's say that they rent you a 2018 truck. Now you got to go get insurance, commercial insurance with Progressive or whoever you get the insurance from. They're going to be looking at the year of that truck. But what's going to happen is they're going to ask you what's the value of that truck that you need covered. It's how the rental companies play the game. They going to tell you to put way more value on to cover way more value on that truck than it's worth. Didn't know that, did you? Now you got a high insurance premium because the rental company trying to make more money off that truck just in case you mess up their truck. But you're paying the insurance for it. That's another reason why I didn't want to rent a truck. And Budget was notorious for that because they was putting people in them old budget trucks and telling people to cover it for double what the truck is worth. But you paying the insurance, you know, you paying way more insurance than you need to be paying because of that insurance company. I mean, because of the rental company telling you to cover that truck for more than it's what actually worth. Crazy, crazy. That's why I went and bought me a truck. That was the main reason why I didn't rent and why I went and purchased a truck. And when you don't know, you don't know. When you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. So Macho Harold said, "Do I need to enroll in the drug and alcohol program if I have a 26-foot box truck?" So if you have a non-CDL box truck, you don't have to enroll in a consortium, drug consortium program, but you do have to go and get your physical. You got to go get a DOT physical. You're gonna have to have that card or the paperwork in that vehicle that you're driving. If DOT pulls you over, they're definitely gonna be looking for it. I would have that in my paperwork. But you don't have to have, you don't have to be a part of a drug consortium. But if you have a CDL and you're driving a CDL box truck, yes, you have to be enrolled into a drug program, alcohol and drug program. Like that one question right there, I don't know, for some reason that question usually that question usually bothers me a little bit. I don't know why, because to me it just be seeming like people want to get behind a commercial vehicle and possibly think that they could be high, or you could smoke and still be operating a commercial vehicle. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Probably not you, but man, I've seen videos of cats with a blunt sitting in the truck and they putting this stuff on the internet. You got a blunt on the deck. We'll let my driver have a blunt on my dash and I catch wind of it immediately, wherever you at. Turn my truck off. I'll be there to pick it up. You trying to mess up my whole business. And that's crazy because it like you said, it happens. That's not cool. You operating a whole commercial vehicle with all types of people on the interstate, bro, on the highway. I done see people lose their whole business over weed. Over weed. Brandon, what's up, Brandon? Flowtown in the building. What's good? Don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. Flowtown in the building. Cargo handler says, bottom line, rental of a truck is not feasible. You can't get over the rental companies. They are predators. Stay away from them. Period. Period. Now, my partner out there in Cali, he had a rental truck, but he was only paying just under $400 a week for it. Now, at that rate, you probably could make something twerk with that. 400, you probably could make something work with that. But when you start getting above that number, getting over 550, you start talking about 680 over here, 800, 21 cents a mile. Stay away. Stay away. I'm serious, y'all. Stay away from that. I do not encourage that one. No way, Jose. Stay away from it. That's right. They definitely listen. Live age restricted. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Don't do it. So, hey, Simone. So I wanted to ask about getting dedicated lanes. Low board rates are tough for authorities with less than 1 year. That's correct. So I'm gonna give you a recommendation, right? So I got a video that I'm gonna probably drop on tomorrow. And when I went out to the Match Trucking event in Louisville, Kentucky, I ran into a guy that he basically started his company. He used to be a broker. He started his company pretty much uh, looking in his backyard, right? So he went to all the companies in his local area, just around his area in his region that had dock doors. He went in there, introduced his company, and exchanged his business card. And just by doing that with enough companies, just by doing that with enough companies, that turned into an $8 million business for him. I'm gonna say that again. Just by him going in his backyard, introducing his company, that turned into an $8 million a year business for him. and I have the video. I actually have the video that I recorded while I was at Matt's. I'm actually editing the video. I'm basically kind of like do a commentary to it, uh, and put it on the channel. So you'll get to see that and kind of hear a little more of his story and what he actually said to those companies, um, to get those dedicated routes. Yeah, definitely. Craigslist, check Craigslist and Indeed.com. Check those. Put in 26-foot box truck contract work, and yet just see what comes up in your area. Like don't I think people like I think people get away from like the old school methods that worked back in the days. Like we so used to social media and like load boards, but I think we kind of forgot about that door to door stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we forgot about that going in, shaking hands, introducing ourselves. Like we forgot all about that aspect of actually growing and building our business and our relationships. Like that's why I go to these events. That's why I always go to these different events to put a face, you know, to put a face to so people can actually see me in person. I can meet people in person, shake a hand, find out what you do, exchange business cards because you never know who you run into. Like I was at a last year I went to a YouTube event out there in Dallas. Like I had like three or four events I went to last year, just networking and just different things to grow my business. And somebody asked me what I did. I said I have a trucking company. He's like, "Oh man, really? Yeah, I might need you. Here's my card." You know, he had a company where they move different types of paintings, right? And they usually have to put bids in to get trucks to get their stuff moved, right? So just like that, that's how you're able to run into different companies that need things moved. That's how people find dedicated routes, contracted freight, just by being out there building those relationships. It definitely does work. It does work. It's just the thing is not everybody's going to do that. Not everyone is going to do that. Tell Marie Cargo says she made a habit to check those sites daily at 10 a.m. You never know when you got that right. You never know when one's gonna pop up. Uh, I know there's freight waves is coming up. Uh, what's his name? Also does an event. Truck and Hustle. They have events that they do. They have events that they do. You should be able to Google up their next event. I haven't been to any of their events, but I know they do have events that come up. Does a F-650 count as a box truck also? Yeah, if you got a 26-foot box on the back of that thing, that's definitely a box truck. Absolutely. Absolutely. So you see this, right? Cargo Handlers Transportation said, I remember when I just started 3 years ago, I put the legwork in because I ain't short on speech, bro. That landed me my two first federal contracts. You got to speak eloquently and do not be afraid. That's a fact. That's a fact. You know how many times I've been moved, especially when I'm OTR, and it always happens when I'm in other states though. So I'll run into brokers, well, not even brokers. I'll be at a shipper, and the shipper may come out and say, "Hey, we run this load so and so times a week. You know, can you can you run this? Because we run it every Wednesday or every Friday." And I'll be like, "Yeah, I don't I don't even live out here." So I've had to turn down so many of those because it happens when I'm OTR. It really doesn't, for me, it doesn't happen when I'm in my state or my local area. But those happen. I had another one. I had one of my mentees. We were running a load in New Hampshire, and the shipping manager came out, asked him about how often we come up there to, and are we in that area? Like he has something every other week that comes out of there. He was like, "Hey, if y'all get here with a load, I can get y'all out of here because we move this particular load every couple of weeks." So think situations like that pop up all the time, but you gotta, what I'm saying, you gotta have be in position, have yourself out there in order for that to even happen. You got that right. you got you gotta get out of them desk chairs and pound the pavement. And that's big facts right there. That's big facts right there. Like you said, face-to-face conversations is the way to go for business. That's definitely a way to go. Like, I'm gonna give you another example. Like I get so many emails, especially as being a content creator on YouTube. I get so many emails that I don't get to like even check. I check them, but if I don't know the company, I don't really look too deep into it, especially if it doesn't grab me or grab my attention. But me going to a trucking event, like me being at the event that just in Louisville, Kentucky, the Match Trucking event, I ran into some of those companies that were reaching out to me that I wouldn't have even checked their email had we not met face to face. And they said, "Hey, I emailed you." I'm like, "Really? You did?" Like, uh, probably got lost in the shuffle of the other emails. But just like that, them being at that event, now we're about to do some business together because we actually met in person versus just emailing. And I don't know who I'm speaking to on the other end through an email, but just being face to face with people sometimes you're able to build, get to put a face to the emails and stuff like that. And you never know. Like had I not ran into that person who was trying to reach me through email at that event, I still wouldn't know anything about that company. So events like that is good for your business. It's good for your business. Like all those networking events that come up, business networking events, y'all should try to track down some of those events so that you can, what I'm saying, so that you can go out there and promote your business. You never know, you may run into a shipping manager, shipping or receiving manager that's moving freight. Those are ways to get that dedicated stuff. Now, let me say this. When it comes to dedicated, that word is called dedicated for a reason. Now, if you don't plan on being in that truck like that, then dedicated freight may not be for you, right? When you're talking about dedicating yourself to picking up freight and dropping it, just depends on, if you got a driver, you're gonna hire someone, so those are just some things that you want to think about when you start talking about contracts and dedicated freight. Now, don't sleep on sam.gov. Don't sleep on the government contracts. Don't sleep on them. You should be looking into that as well. Like if you're seriously looking for contracts, don't sleep on them. We've been on for 54 minutes. Chi-Town, I see you out there. Top Notch Garage. What's up? I see you over there on TikTok. How to find possible loads or a dispatcher for a new authority. Uh, get the that one load board. Get the that one load board. I always talk about I do a mention for dispatch experts. You can check them out. Yep, that's a point. Stay non-CDL plus CDL means more money to the driver. Yep, yep. Said, any advice for new authorities on how to get loads? Should they work with dispatchers? When I first started, I booked my loads and I also used dispatchers. I think I had two dispatchers and I was booking loads for myself. So Rick said, "Oh yeah, definitely get. I should have mentioned that. Definitely get that TWIC card for sure. Absolutely. I missed that question. Do you find that this is beneficial for growing your trucking business? Listen, every every extra credential you could give yourself when starting your trucking business is going to put you above everyone else that does not have those credentials. So the TWIC is going to get you access to military bases, airports for the most part. And when you have that, that's going to allow you to negotiate more money when you have those credentials when you're booking a load. Absolutely. Absolutely. If you can get TWIC and hazmat, you rocking. You rocking. A lot of y'all don't know this, but some maybe y'all do. But you don't have to have a CDL to get that hazmat. Quiet is kept. Your company can actually get hazmat qualified as a company to move hazmat freight. Boy, y'all is crazy. Yeah, if you got that TWIC and hazmat, so a lot of times you're gonna go on the load board, and this used to happen to me a lot of times, especially in the beginning stages. I would go on the load board, look at a load. The load would be paying phenomenal. Then I go look at the description. I either had to have hazmat or TWIC card. One of the two. That's what made me get my TWIC. That's what made me get that because them loads was paying good. And if I didn't have them credentials, I couldn't book that load. I was like, oh, this load playing lovely right here. So, you know, having that stuff definitely helps you put more money in your pocket and negotiate better on those loads. Like when you're seeing those loads on the DAT load board, always listen to me. I need this to go in that ear, sit in the middle of your brain, sit in this ear, and don't let it fall out. Always negotiate more than what is posted on that load board. That is not the final price. That is not the final price. I'm gonna drop a gem on y'all real quick. I was actually gonna do a training on this, but I'm gonna drop it right here. Since y'all all showed up for this live, I'm about to drop a gem on y'all. Y'all ready? Are y'all ready for this gem? I hope y'all ready for this one. Cause I know a lot of people that are not doing this right here. Get your pen and pad ready. Open up your notes on your phone. I'm about to drop a gem on you real quick. Just because you showed up for this live. And shout out to y'all. First of all, shout out to y'all for even taking the time to come on this live right now and hang out with me for this hour and some change. Any of y'all on LinkedIn? Are any of y'all on LinkedIn? What's up, Miss Tiff? I see you. If you're on LinkedIn, if you're on LinkedIn, and it's only 88 of y'all in here right now, so I'm gonna give y'all the gem. I might not even let this go up on the channel after this live. I want to. I may just put this in the members area after this. I may make this members only because of what I'm about to share. I don't even think I want to say it right now. Here we go. Should I do this? Ugh. All right. So if you go to LinkedIn, go to LinkedIn, and you can do this with any company. Any company. Steve said stop playing. You can do this with any company. This is a gem right here, y'all. Listen. You can do this with any company. Go over to LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, anytime you look up a company over there, you can, LinkedIn always shows all of their employees. All of their employees are listed. All of LinkedIn's employees are listed, right? So as you're going through the employee list, you can go in there and find the person who's in charge of logistics, shipping, receiving. They're going to have their email in there. Put your email together. And you can email that person directly. Introduce your company. I'm giving up too much sauce right now. That's too much sauce right there. That is a gem. Well, if y'all don't put some gems in that chat right now, if y'all don't put some gems in that chat right now, this is how you gonna get your direct shippers, and you can find your contracts. You can do it for your city. You can do it in whatever city you want to whatever company you can think of. That is how you can get your dedicated freight. And you're going to be doing what 99% of everybody else is not doing. That one thing right there. This is why y'all subscribe to this channel. This is why y'all subscribe. Because I started to put that one in a training and charge for it. To be honest with you. But I just gave that one. I just gave that one away. And it's so crazy because most people don't use LinkedIn like that. Most people don't use LinkedIn like that, y'all. Hit that thumbs up button on this video if you did not hit that thumbs up button. How many likes I got over there? I got 15 likes on this live right now. There's 92 of y'all in here. If y'all don't stop playing with me and I just dropped that bomb on y'all, take your phone, go back, tap that like button right now. At least give me a like, y'all. I just dropped a gem. I dropped a gem on y'all. That is so fire right there. That's so fire right there. So, and that's the crazy thing because all the companies on LinkedIn, they list all their employees, all the departments that their employees are in. All the departments that they have for all their employees is listed right on LinkedIn. Free info right there. The information is right there. So if you filter through, you should be able to find the person that you need to contact to shoot them an email. Or if you see one that looks close to, shoot them an email and ask them, who do you need to reach out to that's in charge of shipping or receiving? Who's the manager? if you don't see them in that employee list. You should be able to email one of them employees and get that information. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to Steve. I see you, family. Appreciate you being a channel member. Absolutely. That's a good idea, too. Yep. That was a great idea, Tiffany. Yep. Shout, shout out to Tiffany for that, Jim. Utilize Chat GPT to help with your communications to these companies. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a gem. Yep. So to help you formulate that communication with those emails that you can email, use Chat GPT to help you put together a nice little template of an email that you can send to these companies or to to the person that you need to be talking to. Now, I'm about to pile another one on top of your head right now. This is what you want to put in that email. In that same email. Once you get it together with ChatGPT, this is what I want you to start that email off with. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? This is it. Ask the company, can you please tell me, what is the freight that you have problems moving? What is the freight that you have problems moving? Thank me later. Thank me later, y'all. And if you can handle that for them, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. What's the freight that you have the most problems moving? Oh my God. That was the statement that the guy used to build a $8 million business, dedicated freight. Lord have mercy. I ain't come on here to play tonight, y'all. I did not come on here to play around tonight. I said, I'm going to give them a gem tonight. Whoever show up, they're going to get blessed. They're going to get blessed tonight. They're going to get blessed tonight. That was a blessing tonight, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We at an hour and 8 right now. Man, ain't nothing but some juice in here, bro. I promise you. Ain't nothing but some juice in here. Shout out to y'all in the chat right now. TikTok gonna cut me off. TikTok gonna say, you done did an hour and 5 minutes. It's a wrap for you, bro. Yep, so we done with TikTok. Nah, I don't drink. I don't drink, brother. I do not drink. Yeah, that's man. And what the crazy part about it is that there's no possible way that everybody in the chat right now is going to be hitting the same companies up. There's so many companies out there. That's the crazy part. Like, there's enough for everybody. There's plenty for everybody. Plenty. That right there, y'all. Like, if you actually execute that strategy, like if you actually do it and do it enough times, you're going to get through. You're going to break through. And guess what you're not going to need to have? A 2-year-old authority, a 1-year-old authority, a 6-month-old authority. They just want to know that your company is active, your insurance is up to date. How many of those do you need, to be honest with you? How many of those do you actually need? You only need one. You only need one that says we move this 5 times a week or maybe 2. You don't need that many to make something shake. That's all I know. Yep, definitely do that. Create an email signature. With your email signature, include your company name, your company email, and your authority numbers and credentials. Already, you definitely better have that. You should have that when you send it out to brokers anyway. That definitely should be in there. Like when you're sending emails out to brokers, all that information should definitely be in your signature. Definitely create that email signature. You gotta have that in there. Now, now here's something else. I got one more. I got one more for y'all tonight. I'm gonna give y'all one more. I'm gonna give y'all one more. Listen to this. So, because I used to do SEO work, right? And this is definitely could work for a lot of y'all. Because I used to do SEO work. I understand that a lot of companies go to Google and search for companies that they're looking to do business with, right? Or services that they need to get fulfilled. They usually go to Google, right? But because so many trucking companies can't be found on the internet as far as like your website, right? If you don't have the right keywords in your website or you're not popping up on that first page for certain keywords that shippers are looking for to get their freight shipped, your company is not popping up, which means they're never going to find you. This is why they go to brokers because they typically can't find carriers' websites to do business with. But because the brokers are out there and they've reached out, they've reached out to these shippers and they've bidded on these loads to get so many loads from shippers that most shippers go directly to the brokers versus looking up carriers' websites to do business with those carriers, right? But if your company is ranked for certain keywords in the search engines, guess who may get those phone calls, right? And there may be some smaller companies that need something shipped that will call you locally if they need something shipped, right? So if you have proper SEO work done with your company's website, you could potentially get found and be getting these phone calls directly to your phone without you ever having to go to a load board, without you ever having to go look for shippers. They could be calling your company. Now, if you're interested in that, let me know. So let me show you. Let me show you guys. Let me show you something. Let me show you something. I'm gonna pull something up here. Matter of fact, let me go to Google. I'm gonna share my screen. Um, I'm gonna share my screen because I want to show y'all something. It's live in action. Uh, let's see. Share screen. Let me know when y'all can see my screen. Yes, I still do consultations. Yes, ma'am. All right, so I want y'all to see something. All right, so let's do let me see something here. Hold on one second. I'm gonna put this in here. Give me 1 second. Let's do oh my god, where is it? I'm about to show y'all Google. Let's see, what am I gonna put in? Columbia SC videographer. Is this it? Yep, this is one. I'm gonna show y'all this real quick. Add to stage. All right, so I want to show y'all this real quick. So look at this keyword right here I just put in. Hold on one second. Let me put it in the chat. I'm putting it in the chat real quick for y'all. I think I spelled that right. All right, but you can reach me there. So check this out. So you see it, this keyword right here I put in Columbia, South Carolina videography, right? I did this probably over 10 years ago. You see what company pops up right here? 2026 Multimedia Studio. That's my company. This is my media company right here. I've had this listing over, shoot, I want to say over 7+ years probably. And I still get business from this same listing. I don't pay for this. This is just the SEO that I did for my company. Now, because I'm not looking for like dedicated freight, or I'm not looking for contract freight. I haven't done that for my trucking company. I haven't done it for my trucking company because I know once I do this, companies are gonna be blowing my phone up. So I haven't done it for my company, right? So for instance, shippers go here and they put in, they're looking to get something shipped, right? So in your local area, if your company was to pop up for, like, just say if they were searching a keyword, moving or something like that, moving freight or getting something moved, or moving company, right? Or shipping company, your company will pop up, right? So let me show you something else. Atlanta moving companies. Atlanta moving companies. Let's see here. What is this thing doing? Atlanta moving companies. Let me show you something. Atlanta moving companies. Let's see here. So see this company right here? This is a company that I did SEO work for years ago. And he still gets work. He actually got a Neiman Marcus contract. He got a Neiman Marcus contract from this listing right here, because Neiman Marcus was looking for a company to move one of their displays from one state to another state. And he negotiated a $27,000 contract with them from this listing. And this is what they typed in the search engines to find a company that could move their their displays. So this is what I'm talking about. There's so many companies out there that are out here that are looking to get things shipped. But if your company does not pop up in any of these Google searches, they can't find you. They're not going to be able to find you. Right? So this is how you eliminate. Listen, that's literally how you can eliminate having to depend on load boards, having to depend on brokers. Your company just has to be set up right. That's all. Like your website needs to be popping up. And if you don't have a site, so I'm working on a service right now to where you can get a website. We can get the SEO work done for your website so that you can start popping up like that when companies are doing local searches to get freight moved, and you start popping up. There's so many companies that are not doing this. I know it's easy pickings. I know it's easy money for companies. It's easy money. It's easy money. I'm telling y'all something that I know for a fact. I do this for real. I do this for real, y'all. So I know that if your company is set up like that, you definitely can, you know what I'm saying, see a big change in the calls that you get, once your company starts popping up. And what's so crazy is before I did that SEO work for his company, he was running ads. He was paying ads, like sponsored ads, in order to get phone calls to generate leads to do moving gigs. He hasn't paid for an ad since I set that up for him. And I did that SEO work for his company. There's a whole nother side, a whole different side of this business and different ways how to, make money in this game. I'm telling you. Listen, y'all. Simone says, stop spoiling us right now. Stop it. Stop it right now. Stop it right now. And I'm not trying to hype y'all up, but I'm just trying to show y'all what is possible when you have the information. That's the part right there. When you have the information, it can open up a lot of other doors for you that you didn't know even existed, that were there for you. You know what I'm saying? It's about information. It's about information. But you gotta apply the information. You gotta apply it. It's one thing to have it. Information is just information. It's about applying that information. It's about applying it. Yeah, information is hard to get. That's definitely a fact. That's definitely a fact. Definitely a fact. Yeah, but I set that up for him. Boy, I wish I could call him right. I could call him right now. He's probably up. Man, I did that for him. He said, I'm talking about, and being in Atlanta, what's crazy is um he done moved so many different celebrities out there from that listing. From that listing, y'all. Like, even with my media company, I've been so busy with this trucking stuff, I've been having to outsource all the leads that I get just from my Google listing for my media company. Like, I've gotten to corporations, like big big box corporations. I've done video work for them. I've done work for schools. I got into the school system through that listing. Uh what else did I do? Attorneys would call me for videography work that they needed to get done. What's so crazy is before I got into trucking, there was a big a death that occurred with a semi truck, and I actually had to go and film the entire lawyer, all the lawyers, all the different parties were there from that was being represented by their lawyers, but the attorneys that I was filming for, they couldn't be present. So I had to go there and film the entire inspection of the semi truck that was in an accident that killed someone. It was a big lawsuit. So he wanted me, he said, make sure you film anything they touch on that truck, make sure you're filming it because we can't be there. And I charged them like $175 per hour. And I was there for probably about 8, 9 hours. But guess where it came from? My listing on Google. That's how they found my company. That's how they found my company. Like, that's really the play right there, y'all. I'm being dead serious with you. That's really the play right there. That's the play right there. So, any questions? Any more questions? Yeah, we've been on an hour 24 minutes. I think I gave some gem. I think I dropped some gems on this one. I think I did. I think I definitely made this worth y'all time tonight. For sure. For sure. Y'all still woke in that chat? I done seen y'all stop typing. Y'all still woke. Or your mind's spinning right now. Your mind's probably working right now. Like, Lord have mercy. I need to run it up. I need to run it up right now. I need to run it up. Let me put the banner across the y'all was asking about that. There you go, right there. You're welcome. You're very welcome. Uh, box truck or dump truck? Well, I can tell you now that dump truck always gonna make money. The box truck is too, right? So I have a cousin out here in North Carolina. He's actually in Southern Pines, North Carolina. He has 2 dump trucks. Last time I talked to him, I want to say he bidded on contracts in that area. So I want to say he's getting 150 an hour, something like that, 150 an hour. And I think his trucks are out for like maybe 8 hours a day. He pays his driver, keeps the rest of his rest in the pocket. It's definitely a lot of contract work out there. And I see dump trucks every day. Every day. That dump truck is gonna be that local work, or if you put in that truck in an area that, that truck in an area that has some work. But you know, if I was looking and I was looking at dump trucks one time as well, like to add a dump truck to my fleet. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you got it's true. It's so many different ways out there, y'all. It's just like you just kind of gotta know, what's potentially available to you, and what to do with that information once you get it. So right now, I got 2 box trucks, 2 box trucks, one reefer, one dry van. Knowledge is power. I'm gonna add on to that. Applied knowledge is power. A lot of people have knowledge. They're not applying it though. Applied knowledge is definitely power. Absolutely. You got to apply it once you know it. Once you get it, put it to work. Well, I yeah, yeah, it's definitely gonna hit different. It's definitely gonna hit different. And I'll touch on it briefly though. I will touch on it briefly. I haven't noticed I haven't talked about that at all on my channel. But I'll touch on it briefly. So the only thing is with the reefers. The only thing with the reefers is they can only carry but so much weight. You only gonna be able to get probably 6,400 pounds on that because it's so freaking heavy. The truck itself is gonna weigh about 19,000 pounds. They are heavy. That insulation, that cooler back there, is so heavy. But they pay different. They pay different. And when you're not running that refrigerator, you turn that off and you can move the drive-in freight. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You can turn that off and move that dry. We said start my CDL training on May 13th. I'm currently working for a company driving a box truck. Question: company I'm working for is selling out of service trucks for around 30 to 50. Should I try to buy one? It just depends. It just depends on the condition of the trucks. Check the mileage, uh, check the service history on those trucks. Run you a J Pro, get a J Pro report ran on that truck. The J Pro is basically just going to tell you everything that was done on that truck, all the maintenance history that was done on that truck. That's going to give you a full report so that you'll know exactly what you're buying. Basically, you want to know what you're getting yourself into if you decide to buy one of those trucks. You tell me I'm about to faint. Oh my goodness. Yes, you absolutely can. I don't really talk about it as much. It's like kind of, you know, I don't really talk about it too much. The bag can definitely hit different though. Just sad to feel I'm glued to this slide. uh for sure, for sure. Um yeah, they pretty decent. They pretty decent. They pretty decent. They pretty decent. Man, this question right here is one of like that number right there is something that you definitely have to just kind of figure out what all your numbers are and see what's, you know what I'm saying, see what's a good number to pay that driver because if if you're not paying the driver a decent pay or at least having it to where they can scale up after a certain time, maybe the first couple of months you have a certain percentage that you're paying them. And then if they're still with you after a couple of months, then you kind of up that percentage to where they can, make more money. Uh, or even throw some bonuses in there. It's just that percentage that percentage differs. It differs. I heard some people do 25, 30%. 30% is a lot, but I think that's more on the decent side to where you can maintain a driver, to where they can make some decent money for driving. Or it's kind of hard to do a flat number. Some people do a flat fee, depending on where the driver is going. And it's like an individual thing. You just got to figure out what works for you, for the driver, and for your company. You know what I'm saying? Raj, what's up, Raj? I see you. Big Raj. It's one of my mentees out there in Cali. Big Raj is in the building. So we about to run it up. Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, you're definitely in the right place, Miss Tiff. You definitely are in the right place. Shout out to your son because he sent you to the right spot. So inside the square said 21 to 23% is what most major companies pay drivers. Anything more is too much. And see, when you just me personally, I know that I would want to retain, see when you have less overhead, you can probably pay a driver a little more. So a lot of companies have a lot of overhead, so they're probably not paying as much. But if you keep a driver paid well, they're not going nowhere. You don't have to. That's why there's a lot of turnover with drivers because sometimes they feel like they're not getting paid enough. I get it. I get it. So that's definitely something to take into consideration. Yeah. Seller said, bust that $2 per mile myth. It's based on the lane. Some lanes pay more, some less. Know your CPM. That's the bottom line right there. That's the bottom line right there. Some places you might run into $3 a mile, right? Like I tell people, don't always look at the $2 per mile, right? Because what if it's $1.50 to run your truck for, like, what if it's only $1.50 to crank up your truck? Like your cost per mile to operate is only $1.50. If that's your number and you turn down $1.75 per mile load, that means you can actually take that $1.75 per mile load and be in profit, which for your company, right? Because you heard so many people say don't take no less than $2, you're gonna lose money because you heard the myth of don't take nothing less than $2 per mile. But when you know your numbers, and if you're at $1.50, just for an example, hypothetically, if you're at $1.50 per mile to operate your company, right? If it costs you $1.50 to move that truck, then $1.75 or $1.80, you smoking. Oh, you cooking with hot grease. You cooking with hot grease, right? And then if it's a partial load, guess what? You can add on to that now. You can add on to that. So don't always think anything less than $2 a mile is not ideal. You have to know your numbers. You have to know your numbers. Other than be free, you will be preached in a nutshell. Patrick asks, how often had you had to use ramps at loading dock, even if your box truck is dock height? Wanting to know if this is something I should invest in. Thanks. I personally never had to use any type of ramps at any dock that I've ever went to. So my truck has, number one, it has air suspension. So a lot of times the back of my truck is sitting a little higher than the dock, and I actually have to drop the suspension down in order to drop it and level it out with the dock. Right. So if you buy a truck with air suspension, sometimes that's what you have to do to be even with that dock when you back up. Now, it's probably occasionally you may run to you may go to a dock that's way lower, like way lower than your box, but sometimes that shipper already has that type of stuff on deck because they know they have a low dock. Like I've never ran into that situation before. But I've definitely seen the box truck couple have to do that at one of their shippers that they pick up freight from. They had to they had to use ramps to bring their box up to dock height. And that doesn't happen very often. Like that's very, very rare that happens. Very rare. But I've never had that situation. I don't have any type of ramps or anything like that. I'm pretty solid at any dock I pull into. Kenneth asks, oh, wrong one. Kenneth asks, how super important is a lift gate on a box truck? I've seen some people operating box trucks. Uh, so how I look at lift gates is that's like adding an extra service onto your vehicle, right? So sometimes you'll see loads listed that require a lift gate. Like when I first bought my second truck, it didn't have a lift gate, but I did get one installed. But I did run some Amazon freight because uh I didn't need a lift gate for those post offices that I was dropping freight at. Right, I knew the post offices already, so I was able to back up, load my truck up, and knew I didn't need a lift gate. Now, the flip side of that is you don't want to I would recommend having a lift gate. Just that's just bottom line. Some people say you don't need a lift gate. I've seen people doing all types of weird stuff, like when they get to, they get to a dock or some type of weird way they get freight off of their truck without using without using a lift gate. I'm not doing all that extra work, bro. If it need a lift gate, I got a lift gate. I done seen videos of people say you don't need a lift gate, all types of stuff, bro. Get your truck with a lift gate, period. It's gonna help you make more money in terms of majority of the loads. A lot of them don't require a lift gate, but a lot of them will, especially if you're doing any type of driver assist stuff. Sometimes you'll see a load on the load board where uh 53 footers can't go into a certain area. Then you got to back up, use your lift gate to get the freight from off the 53 footer, put it on your truck. And that's pretty just a driver assist just to get the freight to the ground sometimes. And if you don't have a lift gate, that's money that you're gonna lose. So I recommend having a lift gate, bro. I recommend it. Simone, I personally did not. I did not apply for minority owned business certification. I probably should, but I haven't. I haven't. And I do, like, when you're setting up carrier packets, I do see that as one of the, check offs that you can check off when I'm onboarding with some brokers, especially like women owned businesses. That's definitely up there for the women. But I think there are some advantages to having that. Like, there's certain contracts that you can get out there that are available to you if you're a women-owned minority business, right? And those contracts are only available to people that have that status. Yep. And Taylor said you will need a liftgate for final mile contracts. Yep. Most definitely. Like all that Lowe's stuff, Home Depot, like those things. If you're running with the company Freight, Frayt, if you're using Freight, you definitely need a lift gate with them, because every time they ping me with the load, lift gate is required. Lift gate is required because typically, if you're not delivering to a business, you're delivering to a residential address. So you definitely need a lift gate for apps like that. Um, what was her other question? Uh, so you have to have at least 1 year authority. I'm not sure about the authority portion of that. I think I answered that question. Yeah, like Cargo said, lift gate is important. 90% of freight requires lift gate. Sometimes you might not need it. Right. Yeah, you might not need it, but I promise you, you might be somewhere and you look at that low board and it says lift gate. They're looking for a 26-foot truck with a lift gate, and you don't have one. You're gonna be like, just start shaking your head immediately, like, man, come on, come on. Mm. Raj said, do they post loads on Fridays for the following week? Typically, if you're picking up so sometimes you'll see a load on a Friday that's dropping the same day, depending on your location and where's that, right? But most loads, on average, if it's picking up on a Friday, generally it's dropping off on a Monday. Generally, it drops off on a Monday. But sometimes, sometimes it's same day. So, Poet, that's a good question. What are some tips for getting funding to get the box truck? Now, there's some creative ways out there that you can get funding for your box truck. For example, one of my partners a couple of years ago, he got a business credit card. He he swiped the whole 40 and bought his box truck. I think he had 0% for like 18 months or something like that. But he swiped the whole 40K that he paid for his truck right on his credit card, on the business credit card. So that's a possibility. But then you have company. I have a video on my channel that's called "How to Fund Your Box Truck Business" or "How to Buy Your Box," "How to Fund Your Box," something like that. You can look up that video. There's two companies that I recommend in that video that you can run that play that I just mentioned with those companies. That's if you got a decent, at least a I want to say 680 credit score. Excuse me. You should be able to run that play right there. So, what type of authority should I get? I'm just starting out. The authority for moving, the authority for moving free, general free. There's going to be a lot of different checkoffs that you can check off, but for moving general free, you should not be paying no more than $300 at the end of that application. I had somebody on TikTok, they ended up paying $900 because they checked off they picked the wrong stuff on that application. I said $900. What? Myrtle Beach in the building. All right. This is a good question right here. This is a this is a this is a towing cost. Towing. I said towing. This is a coin. It's a tongue twister. This is a coin toss question right here. I personally use A to B, my A to B fuel card, right? I use A to B. There's several fuel card companies out there, and I had a lot of them, right? There's certain cards I use that were charging me a fee, even if I didn't use the fuel card. Ask me, do I use them anymore? No. But I had got a lot of those fuel cards in the beginning because I was using them to help me establish more business credit, right? They were like the underground method to helping you build business credit faster, right? The ones that did report to to business credit. So A to B is the one that I use. A to B fuel card. Uh Now, if you watched my video with the Get Upside app, it's another gem right here. It's another gem. The Get Upside app. There's actually on the Get Upside app, there's actually diesel that you can select on there and get cash back when you're pumping diesel on that Get Upside app. That's how you can get that cash back, right? And sometimes I'll use cards that's going to give me points, right? Like my Hilton Honors. Like there's so many different methods. It just depends on what works for you. Like I do get a lot of discounts with that A to B fuel card as well. I get a ton of discounts. I think I got like $1 off one time for I think I was at a Quick Trip and I went to look at the discount. I got a whole dollar off of that fuel per gallon. I was like, oh, I said, oh, we lit. We lit right now. Congrats on your new truck purchase. Congrats. So Rich 74. Congratulations. LB was good. Carolina in the building. Yeah, I just go to my shorts video, D. Go to my shorts. If you go to my shorts on my YouTube shorts, I did upload some videos on invoicing loads with my factoring company with OTR solutions. I show how I invoice loads through, through them. But typically, if you're not factoring, you'll basically just create an invoice with your company information on there, EIN, tax ID number, and all that stuff on there, and basically invoice a company after you drop that load. They'll get most brokers will give you their email or their billing department if you need to invoice them directly. If you want to wait for your payments, if you're not factoring loads, for sure. I absolutely use a factoring company. I use OTR solutions. If you go to my link tree in most of my videos, you'll see the link that you can use to get set up with OTR. The recycling guy was good, family. Was good. No. OTR does not you don't have to sign a contract with them. Nope. That's why I like them. Now, some other factoring companies will have you signing contracts. They won't be bugging you trying to make sure you factor in, doing none of that weird stuff. I I had a factoring company that tried to get me to give them my social security number, give them everybody's security number in the house. I was like, what kind of factoring company is this? Man, I kicked them to the curb super fast. But if you don't know, you would think that's standard and you would think that's normal if you're new, right? There was something about them that and I talked to that company for a couple of days. That's when I found OTR and I got set up with them and they wasn't asking me all them weird questions, trying to get me to give them my social security. I'm like, not giving you my social. Talking about there's so much fraud in the business we need to protect us. It won't be with me. No, sir. It won't be with me. So with that 2.5%, you wanna see if that's non-recourse though. There's a difference. So non-recourse is typically if a broker decides not to pay after you get paid and the factoring company can't collect on that invoice, they're not gonna come back and take the money back from you like a chargeback. So a lot of times you'll see companies offering a lower fee, a lower factoring rate. That's full recourse, which means if the broker decides not to pay after that time frame and they've paid you that money, they're coming back to take that money back from you because they couldn't collect from that broker. So pay close attention to that as well when you're looking at those rates that they're offering for factoring. James, what's up, James? I see you. Yep. See? You see? Yep. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's like, wait a minute. Why? That's why I have OTR solutions. I've never had to deal with that. I've only had one situation where my driver was out, he ran a load, and the broker asked him to set up the tracking. And I think he dropped the tracking or something like that. Something happened with the tracking. And when I factored that load, they paid me, but then on my next invoice, they came back and snatched $150 from me because that particular broker didn't pay them the full amount. They gave them the amount minus the 150. So they had to come back and take that back from me because my driver did not track the load. So I end up losing, $150 on that load. And I did not like that, I promise you. So brokers will do that. That's why I say when the brokers say track that load, track the load because they got all types of fine print that tells you they can try to deduct from being late on the drop off, not tracking the load, $150 there, $100 for this, just various different fees that they will come back and take from you after delivery of that load if you're not in compliance with what they asked you to do prior to taking that load. So pay very close attention to that stuff. Yep, that's a fact. Yep. She said Simone said, I was like, what is the point of you? I would have been the same way. Like, what's the point? Like you came back and took the money, the broker didn't pay you. So you coming to get it back from the carrier? That's the weirdest setup. Man, we just TJ, you might want to go through these comments, bro, because we just had this entire conversation about renting the box truck. We just talked about this. Taylor Marie, maybe you can school them again on that. That rental conversation didn't go too well up in here, bro. It didn't go too well. Unless you in the area and you find somebody willing to let you rent a truck for $350 to $400 a week, and you may be able to pull it off, but you need to have the work that you're going to be doing already established before you know what I'm saying, before you decide to rent that truck. Cargo said they did that to me once with the load to North Carolina. It was to be delivered Monday and driver delivered Sunday. Wait, so they came in so the driver did they take it off? Did they take it off the truck that Sunday? Did they take it off the truck? That's my question. Like the receiver actually accepted the load on the Sunday, and so they wanted to come take the broker wanted to take their money back because you delivered it a day early. Yeah, so yeah, that's a good one, Static. So I found like I found like that, and I thought this too. So sometimes when you're looking at your rate confirmation, right? Sometimes you'll get a rate confirmation that doesn't have your company's name on it, right? But I found this to be the case that not all the time, like not every time that you don't see that, most times when you do see that, the load is probably being double brokered, right? So when you get your rate confirmation, your company name should be on that rate confirmation as the carrier. Like I ran a load for a broker. The load was paying so good. My company name wasn't on there, but when I got to the shipper, I had to tell them like, "Hey, I'm picking up for this particular company right here." And when I mentioned my company name, I couldn't get that load. They would not give that load to me because that company name was listed on that, on the pickup, right? On that rate confirmation as the one who's supposed to be picking up the load. But the load was paying so sweet. It didn't even matter to me at that point. As long as I got paid when I factored that load, I got my money. So sometimes that's the case, you know. I feel like it's the case every time when you don't see your company's name on that rate confirmation and you see another carrier's name up there. So when you start when you start hearing brokers say, "Hey, tell them you're picking up for blow and blow John Doe Logistics," and it's not your company name, then there's a possibility that load could be being double brokered. Um, Steve asks, "What's a normal down payment for a truck, and is it like financing a car? What's the best option?" Uh, Sometimes if your credit is strong enough, it may not require no down payment. When I bought my second truck, I didn't have to put anything down. It was no money down. But typically, it all depends on what you're working out with the finance company. So it all depends. Everybody financing situations be a little different. Like I didn't have to put no money down. Like I'm seeing Simone just said they put 40% down payment on their truck. And that was that excellent credit you said on their first truck. Yeah, with excellent credit. Yep. So the recycling guy say he just did his first load last week. Was an awesome experience. Congratulations, recycle guy. Congratulations. This is a great question, Tiffany. This is a great question right here. Is it safe to say you should buy a used truck over brand new? Hmm. That's another one that's a coin toss. That's definitely a coin toss. Yep. Now that's now and Taylor just made a great point. She made a great point. Older trucks, lower insurance, newer trucks, definitely higher insurance. So that's something to take into consideration when you're looking at buying new versus an older model truck. My first truck was a 2006 International, and I want to say my down payment was $1,800, and I was paying about almost 900 a month for the premium. That's coming in as a brand new authority. That was with Progressive, brand new authority, right? So sometimes, and that wasn't bad for me for my first truck. Now it was the flip side to that. When I purchased that second truck, and at my second truck, a 2017 model. Now we're going from a 2006 to a 2017. The down payment on that thing was about 30. What was it? $3,400. Boy, I just knew she was telling me something wrong over that phone when she said that. I was like, "What? Why is it $3,400 and I already have a policy with y'all?" $3,400. Aggressive again. That was progressive slash aggressive again. But before I left off, they hit me for they hit me for the 34 down. So the newer the truck is, the higher that insurance is going to be. It don't matter if you got excellent credit, none of that good driving record. Damn, they say that helps, but if that truck new, they coming for them pockets. They coming for them pockets. If you can find you a truck, if you can find you a truck, if you can find you an older model truck, or at least, decent, decent truck that was well maintained, I think I would go that route starting off. I mean, now if you're a baller and you want to go out there and buy your brand new Mack truck or something like that and get your box customized, like my boy Courtney did for trucking out the box, you want to get a fully customized truck with a box with semi truck dimensions, meaning you can move anything a semi can move, you can move it pretty much. If it's 12 pallets or less and it fits your weight, you want to move U boxes and all that, the insurance is gonna come with that new truck. That's for sure. Insurance premium, a nice premium is coming with it. Because you got to think, the newer the truck is, the more they have to cover if something happens with that truck. That's where that premium really comes at, because they have to cover so much. Well, they use that anyway as a a way to charge you more money for that premium. Yep. And listen, and Simone, I did the same. I did the same thing. I took every test I could take to keep that insurance as low as possible. I promise you, I did. So the recycling guy said I did local recycling loads in town until my MC was over 6 months old. If you can find local work for your truck, make it work for you for sure. You might be able to flip pallets. You might be able to flip pallets. I remember WJ was doing that. WJ was when before his truck got burnt up. Shout out to Dub. Dub was out there in Virginia and he was going to get pallets. He was picking up pallets, finding old pallets, putting them on his truck, loading his truck up, and taking them in and selling the pallets to one of the pallet warehouses that buy pallets back. And I'll be seeing guys out here with pickup trucks, whole pickup truck loaded with pallets. What are they doing? They're going to sell the pallets back to the pallet spot. That's giving them $3 or $4 per pallet, or $2 or $3 depending on where you're taking it. So that's also another. And guess what? You don't have to have for that. You don't have to have an aged authority to do that. It's options out there, y'all. It's definitely options out there. You just just basically gotta know. Just gotta know how to get the information and execute it once you do get it. Oh man, and this is Andre. I'm glad you brought this up, Andre. Shout out to Andre Moose. What's that? Musu? I hope I said that right. Musu. Some brokers don't even work with you once you use Progressive. Oh my goodness. Y'all know how many loads I missed because I was insured by Progressive? So many brokers would not let me run their freight because they said that Progressive took too long to do their claims. Way too long to file their claims. That was another reason I was ready to get rid of Progressive, because there was I'm talking about some of the best brokers, the good brokers are not going to accept Progressive insurance and let you run their freight. I can tell you that. I'm going to go ahead and give you a heads up on that one. Yeah. Yes. And them loads was paying fantastic. I'm thinking we get to the finish line and they come back. Yeah. Can't let you run it. You got Progressive. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like, man, you serious? Listen, when I got that enough times, I couldn't wait to get rid of Progressive insurance. I could not wait. I mean, Steve, the thing is, Steve, be honest with you, if you can find another insurance company that's willing to work with new authorities and is not Progressive, you in better hands with that company than you are with Progressive. Because just a lot of brokers don't want to work with Progressive now. There's a lot that will work with them. Don't get me wrong. I've ran Progressive for 3 years pretty much, right? I ran my truck having Progressive insurance for 3 years, but I lost a lot of loads along the way because I was insured by Progressive, and I just couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why won't y'all use Progressive? They like, yeah, they take too long to do their claims. Like their claims take forever. If something happens with the freight, you know, the brokers they just couldn't get their money out of Progressive if something happened with the freight. So they stopped taking Progressive brokers. I mean, taking Progressive carriers altogether. I'll put it in the chat. Yeah, so I use Great West Casualty, and when insurance companies were calling me or agents were calling me for even my agent when I went to when my renewal came up and I told them who I was going with, they just backed up. They said you got the best. That's one of the top. They top tier. They top tier. They are definitely top tier, and they offer so much more, like you know, road assistance. Just so much stuff that they offer that I did not have with Progressive, and I'm actually paying a little less than I was with Progressive, with more benefits and even less. What is it called? Deductible. My deductible is even less. Like Progressive was hit me for like the 25, like 2,500 deductible. I'm like, what? It's crazy. Yeah, Static Low said he got Great West too. Yeah, yeah, they the ones. They the ones. I'm for sure. They are the ones. They are the ones. I just put it in the chat, bro. I just put it in the chat. Yeah, if you can listen, if you got to go with Progressive starting off, nobody else willing to give you a shot, then that's who you have to start with. But the fastest you can get away from them, they not even called progressive. I don't call them progressive no more. They are called aggressive. Somebody in the chat had mentioned that the last time I think I went live. They said, yo, they not called progressive, they call aggressive. They are aggressive. So many people come to them, y'all. So it's like they charging whatever they want to charge. Because it's like, okay, well, guess you couldn't get insured by all these other companies. This is what the fee is. If you want to run, this is what it costs. He said progressive is a piranha. That's a fact right there. That is a fact. So Simone, I used a broker agent, WHA insurance. WHA insurance. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Uh Jason Q, have you used Road Flex Fuel Card? I have not. Have not. Yeah. Mm, absolutely. You're welcome. Yeah, but this it's It's all still possible, y'all. It's just how you work. It's all in how you work your business. It's all in how you work your business. I bet you y'all gonna be on LinkedIn tomorrow. Y'all probably already over there on LinkedIn just testing it out. Y'all testing out my theory right now. Y'all probably like, let me pull up LinkedIn right now to see if what he talking about. Let me see right now. Y'all probably typing in companies back to back, like, oh my God, he was right. He was not capping. He was for real, for real. Yeah. Yep. Believe it or not, that's how a lot of brokers are getting their getting shippers. That's how they're getting their shippers. That's how they're getting their shippers. Smash that thumbs up button if you just came in. Y'all know y'all gotta hit that like button. Come on. If you ain't hit that like button, smash that like button. As a matter of fact, when you go back and watch this live right here, I dropped some gems in this live. If you just coming in, watch the replay. Get your pen and pad ready because you definitely gonna be like, yo, oh, he dropped some sauce in this video. How long is he gonna keep this public? Is he gonna keep this video public? Y'all gonna be like, bro, please put that video in your private members area only. Cause you dropped way too much sauce on that. The people that didn't make the live, they lost out. They lost out. You dropped some gems in there. What y'all think? Should I put it in the members only area? Or should I keep it live for everybody else? Absolutely. Shout out to Cyril. Shout out to Cyril. Snatching up a membership. I appreciate you, family. New channel member. We appreciate you. It's all good, Simone. Simone said, thank you for your patience answering my 5 million questions. This was absolutely amazing. You are very welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Tiff said, keep it live. Tiff, you want me to give him, you want me to give up all this, you want me to give all the sauce away. You want me to give him all the sauce. Tiff said, keep it live. I'm gonna keep it live. I'll keep it live. See how the video do. We'll see how the video do. Absolutely. I think I did. DB, do you remember how much was your physical damage on the 2006 truck? Uh, all I can tell you is I had the Amazon relay requirements on that truck. All the requirements that Amazon relay required is everything I had on that truck. $100,000, 100,000 cargo, 1 million, 1 million, and 2 million in the aggregate. 1 million comprehensive, um, 1 million, 1 million, 2 million in the aggregate, and 100,000 cargo. I do remember that. Oh, the physical damage. Physical damage. I think I covered that truck for, what did I tell them? I might have told them like 15,000, something like that. I think I did 5,000 over what I paid for it. So it wasn't that much. That's why my premium was a lot less too. That's why the premium was a lot less. Uh, Josu, what would be your best advice for someone who's been in logistics but not as a driver who wants to join the box truck business? Do your homework. Don't overthink the business. Find your truck. If you have a CDL, find your CDL truck that could carry more weight. If you don't have a CDL, find you a good non-CDL box truck with a with the tallest box you can possibly get on that thing with the lift gate. With the lift gate. Get all the paperwork you can on that truck, whatever truck that you're looking at. Bring your diesel mechanic with you if you can. If it's if it's someone that's selling it, directly. If it's a private seller, bring your diesel mechanic with you to look at that truck. Get a J Pro report if you can. Get all the maintenance history that was done to that truck if you can as well. Yep, good one. Static Low said, make sure they certify their ELD logs every day because DOT violates you for logs not being certified. Tell them again, Simone. Tell them again. Smash that like button. Smash that like button, please, and thank you. I appreciate y'all. Last mile guy said Enterprise is dropping a new preferred rate for Amazon relay carriers. Well, they trying it again, huh? They trying to get y'all back in there to get them rentals. Do all non-CDL trucks have to have air brakes? Most of them have air brakes. Most of them should have air brakes. Now my 2006 did not have air brakes. I didn't have air brakes on the 2006. So a lot of the older models do not have air brakes. Like I didn't experience air brakes until I purchased my 2017. Let me see. Hold on. I almost missed that question. I got you, recycling guy. Recycling guy asks, what should carriers ask for when bargaining over the rate for a load? People say always ask for $200 more and watch out for airport pickups. That airport pickup sound like the video I put out there. Always ask for more money from the broker. Always, but always ask for more money. Always. So here's my methodology. I should say when I'm talking to a broker, I'm negotiating. Like I've ran so many loads and became familiar with what you know a load should typically be paying. I'm always looking at the average of what loads we're running for. Right, I use that as a gauge for me a lot of times. I know if it's a partial load, brokers are typically going to try to pay less for partial loads, even if they're going longer distance, because sometimes they're expecting you to have more, put more freight with that if it's going a longer distance. Typically, the shorter a run, the more you should be getting paid for it. But I always negotiate, always negotiate, always negotiate. Like I'm gonna give you a classic example right here. Classic example right here. And especially when you kind of know your stuff, right? One of my partners was running a refrigerator load in his box truck out there in Ohio. And He got on the phone with the broker. The load was picking up some meat that had to be delivered to a restaurant. It was, I forgot how many cases it was, but the broker offered 700, y'all. Listen to this, $700. But because my man already did these type of loads before, and it was going to take him almost 2 hours to unload it with a hand truck and his pallet, not his pallet jack, but his hand truck, taking the individual boxes off and rolling them into the restaurant individually on a hand cart. He said, I could do it for 1,700. The broker told him to hold on for a second, came back to the phone. Okay, yeah, we can do it for the 17. That's $1,000 more than he was able to get because he knew about that lane. He knew how much time it was going to take to complete that load, to do that drop off. And it wasn't even going that far. I think it was like maybe 100 miles. But because he had to do so much more manual labor when he got there to do that drop, he knew how much that load was worth. Now imagine if he'd have took it for the $700 and didn't know that there was another 1,000 sitting in that pot for him. That's crazy. The broker was going to try to keep a whole 1,000 extra if he would have said, "Yeah, I'll do it for the 700." This is why I be telling y'all sometimes there'd be so much more money in that load when you don't know, if you really don't know about what you're moving, especially on the refrigerator side. So sometimes you run into loads like that. Like I ran a load that I had to use my TWIC card. I was going to the airport, and it was a TQL load. I called on it. You already know the game's gonna get played most times when you call TQL. Call TQL up. He's like, yeah, it was from Columbia, South Carolina to Atlanta, Georgia. TQL was like, yeah, can you do it for 700? I'm like, no, I can't do it for 700. I just ran the same load for y'all for $1,200. Y'all already know when I go to that airport, it's gonna be my time is my clock gonna tick like this. Because when you go to that Atlanta airport, you gotta check in, you gotta sit and wait for them to call your cell phone, let you know a dock door is available. Then you gotta go inside there and check in all again, and then wait for them to load your truck up. Well, you load your truck up. So if I didn't know that already, I'd have been like $800 to go to Atlanta. Like, so once you do it enough times, you'll start knowing what a load should be worth to you to run. And if they say no, they just say no. Next. Never get emotionally attached to a load. Never get emotionally attached to a load. That's right. When when you know your worth and then you know how much work you got to do, when they start saying, hey, you got a hand truck, hey, you got the lift gate, how many boxes I got to unload and bring into the restaurant? Oh yeah, 17. I'm gonna need 17 for that. It's gonna take me an hour and a half to unload this whole thing and bring it in there. So this is one business where you better get good at negotiating. This is one business where you better get good at negotiating. Just don't take anything. Yes. Experience definitely teaches wisdom. What's up, Evan? Shout out Evan. I see you, Evan. This is a fact right here. Andre said, trust me, brokers evil. They legally robbing people because of lack of knowledge. Man, they be sitting on so much more money. And I remember I was working with a mentee. We ran a load up in where were we running that load to? We ran a load up in my God, where was it? I think it was Pennsylvania somewhere. We ran a load. The broker we dropped the load. He had us drop the load off at the wrong address. My driver was already gone back to the crib. I mean, the load was only maybe 35, 40 miles away. He dropped the load off. We had already negotiated a price, right? Load was paying pretty decent. I think we did like 650. Wasn't even that far. Maybe 550 first. He called back and said, "Hey, I apologize. We delivered that to the wrong address. Can your driver go back and take it to the right address?" It's like still in like the airport space or whatever, but it just was over a couple of more spots. Somehow he came up with another $500 for him to come back out there and take it to the right spot. What does that tell you? There'd be money in them. There'd be money in them loads, yo. I don't know. Maybe he took a loss that day because he delivered it to the wrong address. But there'd be money. Just it'd be money in them loads. It'd be money in them loads. That's all I'm saying. And see, I did enough airport loads to know that sometimes I don't like doing them unless they're paying a certain amount of money. Unless they're paying a certain amount of money, I don't like doing a lot of those airport loads. Now I have done some that paid me very well. That paid me very well. So Evan, a real good indicator, and like I didn't start catching this, and especially when I was new, I didn't start catching this a lot until after I was in for a while, and I started paying attention to that rate confirmation sheet. I would notice some brokers would send me my rate confirmation sheet, and it would have my company's name up there as the carrier, right? And then when I would get to actually do the pickup and I'm at the shipper, my company name would be on that on the BOL as the carrier that's picking up that load and bringing to that to the receiver. And then I would notice when I would get that paperwork, especially if it's an airport load, you get that paperwork, you look on there, and your name is not listed as the carrier. There's another carrier up there, which typically is the broker sometimes. So the broker is acting as the carrier, but telling you to pick it up in their name and not your company's name, right? Sometimes that happens. Sometimes it's not double brokered, and sometimes it is a double brokered load. There's actually a couple of hands getting paid in between that transaction. So you gotta keep your eyes on that. Now, I've seen situations where carriers have gotten to a shipper and they look at that paperwork, that BOL, and it shows a different carrier up there. Shows a different company up there as the carrier, right? Sometimes you can track down who has that original load. And if you find out who has that original load and that particular carrier is not moving that load, and you find out who actually has that load, you can actually get the real money from the original broker that has that load and pretty much cut out that middleman. And you might be able to get paid from both after you deliver it. And that middleman can't do a daggone thing about it. I'm just saying that happens. That happens. I've seen it happen before. I seen somebody collect 2 bags from that one instance right there. 2 bags. The first broker paid the original fee for moving it, and the second broker paid because they thought they got away with double brokering that load. And what happens is the paperwork gets sent back to the original broker who actually had the load, and that middleman gets cut out. So yeah, that's what happens in this game sometimes. Yeah, you got to pay attention to that paperwork, y'all. Pay attention to that paperwork. Pay attention. They will try you. They will try you. Ken, you sometimes you can find lift. You can go to eBay. You can find lift gates on eBay. You can also find a used liftgate dealer. So I bought a used liftgate in Georgia from Forest Park Tractor and Trailer. They put a liftgate on my other truck. I paid 35. I want to say I paid 3,500 for that liftgate. I still think that was too much. I still think that was too much. I've heard people get lift gates installed for less than that. I think that was actually back then. I think it was decent because I had called around and I just needed to get it done. I just needed to get it done, and that was the tuck under lift gate. Your authority has Brian. Your authority has to be at least 6 months old before Amazon will let you run their freight. I currently have 2 trucks running. Two. Currently have two. Yep. Yeah, check Facebook Marketplace as well, for sure. For sure. All right, y'all. I am about to tap up out of here. We've been on for 2 hours and 38 minutes. I know some of y'all just jumping on, but I done held some of y'all hostage for 2 hours and 30 minutes pretty much. So it's time for me to slide out of here. I definitely appreciate y'all tapping on. Uh so Tiff, I'm gonna give you this jewel right here. I don't normally I don't recommend people to do this, but I know people that have done it, right? So they've gotten VIN numbers, right? They've found VIN numbers, older model trucks with VIN numbers, to where they can get their insurance cheaper. This was like a hack that they were talking about when I first started, but I was like, man, ain't no way I'm doing that. Or I would have done that. But it's basically like getting a VIN number, putting insurance on the older model VIN number, but you're still going to be paying insurance. Like this method still requires you paying insurance without actually having the truck, which I did not like and I did not recommend, because it's like, if I'm not making any money, why should I be paying insurance just for my authority to age? Like, it just never made sense to me, but I guess it made sense to some people. They just had the money laying around to let their authority age, before they actually had a truck. I mean, if you got it like that, then you can do it. But I just didn't recommend people do it. Yeah, but that method just it never really made sense to me. If I'm paying insurance, I need to be making some money. My trucks need to be running. I need to be getting a bag. Now people do sell their authorities. Some people do sell their authorities. You can actually, I believe you can transform. Yes, sir. The course is still open, brother. Still open. Uh uh yeah. Let's see. Yeah, but I think if you just coming in the chat, this video is gonna upload on the channel so y'all can catch it from the beginning, from what where we started at. I when I tell you I dropped some gems in this live right here, I dropped some gems. Your brain is definitely gonna be like, oh my goodness, he just gave this away. He just gave this away tonight. He gave us some game tonight. But that's why I am who I am. That's why I am who I am, y'all. For sure. That's definitely watch the live. What's up, Joseph? Definitely watch the live. Watch the replay. I dropped some on this one for sure. I dropped some on this one. Some applicable gems that you can actually apply. I definitely dropped them, y'all, for sure. But yeah, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm about to tap out. It's 11:18 my time. I've been on here for 2 hours and 42 minutes. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Thank y'all for subscribing. All the good stuff. Uh, like I always say, never stop growing. You're never too old to learn something new. Always hustle, never stop growing. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's eat, y'all. Y'all have an amazing night. I'm out.